prince lives here. We got 10,000 lakes. But wait, the women are beautiful. To me they are. And we're not infested with pretentious movie stars. And it hit me, man. Minnesota is dope. If only simply for not what we have, but what we...
Welcome to 10 Minutes, the special edition this week, Peter.
Special edition
of Region Youth
Region
Preview.
Fever. We're catching it.
We have it, that's for sure.
Catching it, and we're throwing it right back to you.
Before we get to the regions where we cover all 9, we're going to be hammering it this weekend. We're going to be all over the state. We got a guy in Moorhead, a guy in Bemidji for the Pee Wee Bantam Double A's.
Yes.
We'll be in St. Cloud. We'll be in Richfield, Minnetonka, Stillwater. Everywhere except maybe Waseca. We could make it down there, but
Sorry,
I
Waseca.
don't think that's going to be the one we make.
We don't want to break promises.
But before we get to those 9 levels and the 16 games per level, or the whatever, 8 games per level times 4,
Jillion games.
it's 144 games. We're going to have a score for
games
on our website. So you need to come by and find out score, find out who scored in the games. Come to YHH. Can't wait. All right. Before we get to that, let's talk a little squirt hockey.
Squirts.
Cottage Grove wins the Squirtacular.
They did.
When we were erasing,
Squirtacular.
when we were erasing the board, I didn't see any mention of Cottage Grove anywhere up there.
That's our bad.
It's not really their top 10 team, so it's not a huge surprise. But you know, they ran the gauntlet and went 6-0 in Fargo. Hats off to them. They got a really nice squad, 2 full lines.
Yeah.
Great
Everybody
team,
can
great
skate
goalie.
on that team.
Yeah, their goaltender played awesome. So goaltenders played awesome. So congrats to Chris Rude and their coaching staff on a big win.
Well done, Wolfpack.
Here's a couple of players that I noticed when I was up there. Kids that I don't normally get to see, or we don't normally get to see. These are north of the 694 belt line.
The Shield.
Andrew O'Neill, number 28, Fargo Freeze. He's a standout player.
Mm-hmm.
Got to see him play. Jake Chupka, East Grand Forks. Nice little player there. And then Briggs Canott from Bemidji. Here's like Neil Broughton. I mean, this kid's got great hands, great vision. Seemed like he's a little bit unselfish.
Shooting for the fences with that comparison.
Yeah, I'm just saying he had that, that really good balance, really good, just a kind of good personality out on the ice. Really, was totally into it. I like kids like Briggs Canott.
All right.
So let's move on. We have 9 levels. We're going to recount the first in every one of them. We're going to take the best first round game,
the
surprise team, toughest road, and maybe a few players.
A couple of players.
We're not going to do the household names a lot of times. Sometimes we will, sometimes we won't. Stick around, find out which ones we do. We're not going to talk about 12B players. We haven't seen a lot about 12B.
Haven't seen enough
to make an accurate account on that. So when you say we skipped 12Bs, we don't like to talk about players if we don't have multiple.
There's a disclaimer before this starts that we will not be showcasing any 12B players.
Let's roll. Okay, Pee Wee B. What game, Peter? I'm going to interview you on the Pee Wee Bs. What game is the best first round game?
Morris Benson Silver versus Grand Rapids.
That'll be a tough one. What's the surprise team?
A team
you think is going to go to state this year?
24 wins this season. Northern Edge.
I like that. Okay, who's got the toughest road?
The West region has to have the toughest road.
There's going to be a lot of Wests and a lot of Norths. Just if you like those 2 regions, you got a tough road.
A heavy concentration of top teams: Edina, Chaskatchewan, Osseo, Maple Grove. That's going to make it a really tough bracket to come out of.
3 out of the top 4 teams in the state.
That's
in the
rough.
Same region. And who's the player to watch?
Max von Klingroff from Edina Green. We got to look at him during the Gobbler. Kid's got good hands, a nice shot, and he logs a significant amount of ice time.
It's like a Hogan Heroes name. I mean,
von Klingroff.
I gotta like the name, and he's a really heck of a player too. All right, let's speed down to our 12Bs. Where's the 12B? 12Bs is over here. What's the best first round game?
It looks like it's Egan, Inver Grove Heights, and Stillwater Black.
Yeah, Egan, that's a top 3 team in the state. Mm-hmm. Stillwater Black and Stillwater Red are both top teams. That's a tough first round game.
That is a tough first round game.
What's the toughest road?
The Olympic region is the toughest road. Again, like the West region in a lot of these brackets, a high concentration of top teams: Moorhead, Hibbing, Cloquet. It's going to be rough.
This is like the boys regions where there's 8 teams for 2 spots. The American and National are for 3 spots. So this is going to be a little bit tougher road. 3 good teams. What's the surprise team?
Moose Lake playing at home.
I like that.
Close proximity. That plays a role.
I like them going. Too. All right, switch gears. We're halfway home. Pee Wee A.
Pee Wee A. Our first round matchup. What is it, Tony?
No, it's going to be Burnsville and Minneapolis.
I like it.
That's a tough game.
That is a tough. That's one that I want to
Minneapolis
see.
was number 1 earlier part of the year, and Burnsville was this close to winning District 6. That's going to be a tough game. What's the surprise teams for you?
Cottage Grove and Fergus Falls.
Blake Lady, Cottage Grove, a heck of a player. He can carry his team. And Fergus Falls, Caleb Pittman. Write that name down right now. That's a heck of a hockey player.
Scribble.
Toughest road.
Again, the West region.
Sounds just like the Pee Wee A.
Chaskatchan, OMG, Sartell.
Yeah. But
Sartell.
still, it's tough.
Yes.
That's tough. And some really good players. Sartell's got Tory Lund.
Who
else is a guy that we should keep an eye out for?
Keep an eye out for Tate Pritchard. Tate Pritchard could, frankly, he could easily be on a Pee Wee AA team somewhere.
Well, he would be. He'd be on the first line of just about any Pee Wee AA team, and he's playing Pee Wee Single A, so I'm sure he's north of 100 points this year.
And Joe Lewis of Osseo Maple Grove, another player to keep an eye on.
Big Joe, he's a big catalyst of that team. Okay, switching gears, let's go over to 12A.
All right.
A lot of good hockey in that one. What's the toughest first round game in that one?
A little South Suburban Conference action.
Yes.
Egan Prior Lake.
Yeah, so Egan Inver Grove is a solid team. They've been in the top 5 of 12A. They've spent some time there. Prior Lake's been in the top 10. Those 2 teams match up in the first game. I believe this is over in Richfield.
I like it.
That'll be a good game. What's the toughest road?
The Olympic Division.
Yeah, so this is the North, where there's 2 teams coming out of this one, and there's probably 3 or 4 good teams. What are they?
Moorhead, Proctor Hermantown, and Warroad.
Yeah, so Moorhead and Warroad have been back and forth. They've been in and out of the top 10s. That's a good couple of teams, and then they get to find their east side rival, Proctor Hermantown, so that ought to be good. Who are some players to watch in this
You're
one?
going to keep an eye on Moorhead's Kate Casabud.
Yep.
And you like someone from Centennial. Tell me a little bit about it.
Goaltender, Caitlin Gross. She's the kind of girl who can change a game and win a game, so I like Centennial's odds of potentially getting out of their region just based on the goaltending.
You need goaltending in the playoffs, and Centennial's got it.
And of course, there are lots of household names. Just basically get out the Andover roster and read every last
Just
girl
pick one.
on there, and that's a household name. That team's tough to beat. Same with Edina. Those 2 teams, I expect them to make their way to the state tournament and possibly even meet each other in the finals.
It's a solid bet.
All right, now we're on to Pee Wee AA. You ready for this?
Yes.
There's so many good teams this year.
Ooh,
all right,
ready.
deep breath. Okay, what's the best first round game? I mentioned this on Twitter.
Rogers Rosemount.
Yeah,
Rogers
come
Rosemount.
on, 2 top 10 teams.
Yikes.
Come on, really?
Yikes.
In the first round, that's really tough.
That hurts.
Right out of the gate. One of those teams is going left, and then the other one's going to probably end up facing Rochester. What's the toughest region? There's a lot of tough ones, but I think the North one's the toughest.
The North one would be the toughest one. I would agree with that.
Bemidji is going to be hot, especially on Saturday. We'll get to that later on in the show. Hermantown, Moorhead, Duluth East have all had great second halves of the year.
It's a gauntlet up there.
It is tough. Surprise team. I have one. I got Rochester. You got any other surprises?
I like Rochester. I don't know if I would call it such a surprise because it is a solid team. But
they're in the top 10. But
and it is a team that could maybe surprise people with how well they play throughout regions. They've had some close games over the season, but they seem to be hitting their stride.
And they're closest to home in this one. Waseca, I don't even know where Waseca is compared to Rochester. Waseca's on 35. Rochester's over. I'm not sure where it is. But at the end of the day, they're the closest to home.
Yeah.
All right. Let's name some players to watch in this one that might not necessarily be household names.
You've got a favorite coming out of Duluth East.
Grant Winkler, big kid, hard shot, makes plays. Watch out up north. I'm not sure the Hermantown people will be surprised by this. They've seen plenty of Grant Winkler, but I bet the Moorhead and the Bemidji's and the rest of the region haven't, so keep an eye out for him. How about down here in the Metro?
Nick Karam from Eastview. He had 6 assists during the Founders Cup. He was a really nice player, really good skater, soft hands.
All right. That'll do it for the Pee-wees and the 12s. Let's skate over to the 15As. Are we skating now? All right. Toughest first-round game.
Osseo Maple Grove and Minnetonka.
Okay, that's a good one. 2 top 5 teams.
It's
top
top
10 teams. What's the toughest road? This is good. Go.
This is rough. 7 of 8 teams in the
I don't know, the American?
American division
Let's go with American.
are in the top 10.
Yeah. So anyone who's
Ow.
complaining, if you're Osseo Maple Grove and Eden Prairie and you're whining that you have to play each other in Bantam AA, stop your whining right now. Your region doesn't have 7 of the top 10 teams in one region. This one is Murderers Row. There's not going to be a tougher region than this one, but it is a
Brutal.
3-teamer. So 3 of those 7 do end up in the state tournament. What's the surprise team?
Edina White.
Ooh, I like that one.
Edina
I like that
White.
one. That's the second team. There's all the superstars on the A team, the green team. Here's a team that's had a tough schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They could sneak all the way through. They have a 10-girl roster. Like girls that had departures to high school. Edina White's a team that I think they can put it all together. They can make it to state.
Battle tested.
Yes. And some players to watch.
Michaela Finney from
North.
Proctor Hermantown
Yes.
and Laura Canis.
She's from, I believe,
Burnsville.
Yes, Burnsville, Laura and Canis. Good job. All right, now we're going to switch gears over to Bantam Bees.
Yeep, yeep.
All right, here we go. Best first round game,
Edina White and Wyzetta.
2 top 10 teams.
Couple of nice teams right there.
All right, what's the toughest road?
The North Division.
Like I said, North and the West, those are the toughest ones.
It's another region with a lot of ranked teams. Crookston, Morris Benson, Grand Rapids, and Moorhead.
All good teams.
All
That'll be a
solid
tough
teams.
road.
Who are a couple of players to keep an eye on?
Justin Stahlberger.
I like
from
that.
Moorhead.
I like that name a lot.
He's a northern kid, and then you got Johnny Schiefert from Edina.
Mm-hmm.
That's a kid, big, tall kid, great hands, can really makes a lot of plays out there. Keep an eye out for Johnny.
Mos Def.
All right, now we switch to Bantam A, then to Bantam AA, and then down to our favorites.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, Bantam A, toughest first round game. 2 hot teams.
Coon Rapids and Tartan.
Coon Rapids, all overtime wins in their region and district team.
I like it.
I like that.
I like it.
And Tartan's been on a roll. They have the
I think
longest
Tartan
win
has
streak in
won.
the
What
state.
did they won 16
It's
straight
crazy,
or something?
Crazy. So that'll be a really good game. Toughest region, both of them.
2 regions.
That one?
East
And West. Oh, let me guess. Is Chaskatchan, Osseo Maple Grove, and Edina again? No,
Yeah, it's
close.
Close.
It's Edina, Edina, Minnetonka, and Osseo Maple Grove. 3 of the top teams in the state in one region.
It's not going to be a
One of
relaxing
them's
weekend
going
in
home.
either region.
How about Mankato?
How about Mankato?
How about Mankato? Is that going to be our surprise?
I like them as a surprise
I do
team.
too.
I think they could make
I do
their way
too.
out of their bracket.
And a few players to watch.
Bennett Glad, Osseo Maple Grove.
Tough player.
The McClure twins, Cooper and Connor from Duluth Denfeld.
Like them a lot.
And another Osmus out of East Grand
There's
Forks.
another one?
There's another one, Trey.
Yeah, Trey.
Former now prospect, really nice D-man.
Played in both of our combines. He's a heck of a player.
Heck of
no
a
doubt
player.
about it. All right, Bantam AA. We're on to the big boys. This is where it all happens. There's a lot of good first round games.
We got a couple of first round
hear
matchups.
'em.
One, Grand Rapids and Cloquet.
2 top 10 teams.
I like the Northern Battle too. Osseo Maple Grove and Prior Lake. Prior Lake with their defensive core,
Yes.
might be able to slow down OMG's
No.
high flying attack. They
No.
might. They
No,
might
they're not. Well,
believe in something.
No, it's not going to happen. Although 2 years ago at Pee Wee's, I think the Osseo Maple Grove boys will remember that. They lost to them down in Owatonna. So could it happen again?
Does
Could
history-
lightning strike twice?
Does history repeat itself?
All right. Toughest road?
North.
Easily.
Easy.
Easily the toughest road. Don't whine at me if you're Eden Prairie and Osseo Maple Grove. Again, there's two, maybe 3 ranked teams in one region. That's nothing. There's 4 in the 4 really good teams in the northern region to go through. All right, players to watch. We're going to go a little bit off, right? We're going to stick with kind of a navy and gold theme here, right?
2 of my favorite colors.
All right, Dylan Lewis, Wyzetta.
Like him.
Like him.
High motor.
I think the Trojans are going to state. Joey Pierce, love him.
Love him.
From Hermantown defenseman. I think he'll be in the state tournament. And Matt Beattie.
Matt Beattie.
If Matt Beattie can do it as a Pee Wee, Matt Beattie can do it as a Bantam, and he can see their way, see the Lakers' way through one of either Eden Prairie or Osseo Maple Grove State.
Punishing physical presence on the Prior Lake.
Yeah,
line.
especially not a big guy either. So.
Yeah.
All right, now we're almost there. We're almost to the end.
Oh my gosh.
What is so we go through our favorites, okay? What's the favorite projected game that you see on the schedule?
It's got to be Osseo Maple Grove and Eden Prairie, 2 Bantam
Have we
teams.
talked about them already? No, we haven't really. We haven't.
But if they do match up in presumably the finals
final.
of their bracket, that would be a game I would want to see.
That would be a good game. Well, one of us will be there. I'm pretty sure of that. Maybe both. All right, here's another juicy one in Bemidji, Saturday afternoon, either 10 or 12. I'm not sure which one it's going to be. Hermantown and Moorhead.
I like it.
Woo! That's going to be a good game.
Birds and potatoes.
Our boy Tommy Kupich, he'll be in Bemidji, provided he can get a hotel in Bemidji. But hopefully we'll have coverage there for that game.
If anyone wants to give up their room.
It's gonna, yeah. We need rooms. We need a room in Bemidji. All right, that's it for our youth region division. All I got left is a game puck, and our game puck from Peter and I both goes out to all of the volunteers who actually spend the time at the rink during districts and regions and state. These are the volunteers that are really, these are the ones that are really into it. They want to be there during regions. They want to feel the excitement of youth hockey at its greatest. So a huge shout out to all the volunteers who are going to be working this weekend all over the state, 12Bs, 15Bs, all over the state, every level. We really appreciate what you guys do for hockey in Minnesota.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
For Peter Odney, I'm Tony Scott. We'll see you guys around the rink this weekend.
And if you ain't gonna leave, cause this is where you're from, say, St. Cloud.